So, Dead by Daylight has recently released a player satisfaction survey where the developers discuss adding custom game modes into the game. Let's just pretend for a second that mods aren't a thing and we haven't already seen them be played. Now, since it is coming down to the end of the year, I wanted to review these custom game modes with you guys, and while we're reviewing them, let me know which one you're vibing with the most. As we review this list, there are 12 custom game modes. Players have the choice of selecting the most interesting to the least interesting to help the developers identify which custom game mode they would like for new gameplay ideas. The first one I wanted to discuss was Hide and Seek. This game mode would have no generators, no hooks, only mores when survivors go down. Survivors that stay alive for 5 minutes will be allowed to escape through the exit gates. During the game time, auras will be revealed to the killer, kind of like Object of Obsession if you will. Here is my spin-off, DBD Prop Hunt. This has already been a thing as a modded add-on to Dead by Daylight, but just imagine how big this would be if they added the ability to disguise yourself as objects. I think this would be hilarious with friends and even solo queue. Definitely gives me more excitement if they were to do something like this. Let me know what you guys think. Then we have Swapped Perspective. Kind of the least interesting of them all with not much to go off of. Swap the perspective of killers and survivors. Killers will be playing the game in third person mode and survivors will be playing in first person point of view. Another thing in Dead by Daylight that has already been done, but interesting nonetheless. We have this kind of feeling while playing Chucky, as Chucky is the only third person killer. Moving on to Zombie Tag. This is what the developers thought would be kind of interesting in itself. A random survivor is picked to be the killer. Downing a player would swap the role of that character, assuming there's no tag backsies here. Once the survivor turns into a killer, they don't turn back. Keep playing until there is one survivor left. You see, this is a cool idea after all. If any of you played Call of Duty back in the day, this is kind of like Infected. I kind of feel like the only way this would be entertained is if it includes 8 to 10 players. 4 players does not make this game mode any more interesting by the feel of it. The fun part about Infected was the feel of 18 people running around the map, hiding and being clowns. This small amount of survivors with how big the map would be insanely tedious, but maybe I'm just overreacting. 2v8 Party. Now here we go, what everyone came for. 2 killers against 8 survivors. Hell yeah. This has been done once again in a modded version of Dead by Daylight and is absolutely hilarious. The teamwork that would go into this would make it so fun. The only thing that does concern me is how fast gens would fly. Kind of feel like a 2v6 would be more necessary. I mean, in most game modes, a 1v4 can be a little too easy and puts a lot of pressure on killers as is, but I love this idea. Also, no more hooks, it would just be a Cage of Atonement instead, which altogether would create a faster hooking process, so maybe that's how they're making up for the 2v8. Only assuming here, but sending survivors to the Cage of Atonement, one can assume no more flashlight saves. Now Tag is another custom game mode. A random survivor on the map is picked to be the killer, down a player to swap roles. Unlike Zombie Tag where you permanently become a killer, you just swap the role of what you were playing. Survive for 5 minutes and escape. Not really sure who wins there. Again, one can only assume whoever isn't the killer by the time everyone escapes is the loser. Moving on to 5v5. 2 teams of 4 survivors and 1 killer face off to control the generators. Capture the generators by moving generator progress towards your team side in a tug of war gameplay. Kind of like domination in a sense. I really like the idea of that. After all, putting 10 players into a lobby to face off would be really intense, and I can tell you just by reading this that it would have some strategy involved. Not much to say, I really like this one. Gonna put this in the most interesting pile. Disgustingly Scaria is a small concept, kind of pointless if you ask me. The fog is thicker and shrouded in darkness, so just put together Nightfall from Dredge's ability permanently and the Darkness offering, and boom, that's this game mode. I think it'd be kind of funny for like 15 seconds and then really infuriating. Up next is VIP. Every time I think of this game mode, I think about Halo 3, my young gaming days. Essentially not much changes here. One survivor on the map is the President, and that is the Obsession. Your one job as one of the survivors is to protect the Obsession at all costs. If the Obsession dies, everyone dies. Dead by Daylight really wants to influence tunneling on one survivor, huh? This would be such a toxic game mode, I can feel it in every sense of my 3,000 hours of this game. Also, only the Obsession can open the exit gates, nothing talking about generators, although I assume it's the same. Then we have one called Bum Rush. Just upon first read sounds extremely fun, but probably isn't. More generators will spawn on the map than just the 7 as usual. Everyone will be able to move at double the speed. Each survivor will have 3 lives in their kit, and upon going down will be able to revive after a 20-second death timer. Running faster all the time would be really fun. I would be interested personally to see how this goes. Then there's Giant. Sizes in the gameplay are altered. Killers turn into giants while survivors become tiny. Are you kidding right now? I need this. That does sound really interesting, but my question is, how size altering are we talking about? If I can't see survivors running around loops, this is going to be an issue. It would be really funny to get chased by a 10-foot tall Chucky. I kid you not. I would love that. So Yeah, I love this. On to luck of the draw. Start the game with randomized perks and items. I will tell you guys that I normally randomize my perks and items anyway while I stream. Just makes games a lot more interesting in any variety and just kind of gives you a sense of learning new combos. Don't really think that needs to be a game mode though. Here's my spin-off. They should add a mode where you have zero HUD and call it hardcore mode or nightmare mode. Think about playing DBD with absolute no idea what's going on. You can't see your survivor friends or any of your perks with everything randomized. That would spice up the game. I still think it's a cool idea, they're thinking in the right direction. I just think more of a hardcore mode where the perks are randomized anyway would be a lot more beneficial and a lot more scary. Last but not least, we have Deceivers. Now in Deceivers, survivors will work together to complete tasks before one or more Deceiver can kill everyone or anyone without being discovered. This is essentially Among Us. Everyone will play in rounds while voting out in between each round. Among Us and Dead by Daylight would be pretty cool, although it does take away from parts of the game that make Dead by Daylight so good. I do not think this would benefit the developer team other than making them massive amounts of popularity and money. The question is for the morality of the game, do they want to be known as the best asymmetrical horror game of all time, or for doing tasks and murdering people secretly? Guys, it's Nia. It's always Nia. She's literally the entity. Anyway, those are all the game modes I have for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think about these custom game modes and which one you guys would like to see. For everyone watching, my name is Waldo. If you haven't seen me before, I make Texas Chainsaw content and also Dead by Daylight news, fun builds, and overall enjoying videos for you guys. If you did enjoy, please let me know by leaving a thumbs up and a comment, and give me your guys' top 3 out of the list I just gave you. I want to know out of these 12 game modes you're looking to see come to Dead by Daylight. Happy holidays to all of you and your families. Again, if you guys enjoyed this video, do think about subscribing. It takes 0.2 seconds and it means so much to me as far as building my channel and spreading my content across the platform. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.